click buttons until things happened. Researching this video was the first time I ever found out that the inner ring functioned like a 6-sided die and determined how many spaces you moved. I had no clue what was happening, ever.
At the time, it was just, hey, what if we could take the game that we made, which
That's why Peachtree Immediate Care is open extended hours and on weekends. So whether it's a nasty cough that won't go away, a painful sore throat, or an unexpected injury, there's a Peachtree Immediate Care on Bankhead Highway right here in Carrollton.
No, I never thought that I would have to make a video like this. It just makes my heart so sad. Recently, you may have seen a photo on the internet of me being arrested by an officer of the law. And today, I am here to confirm to all of you that, yes, the worst possible thing has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been arrested. Now, in this photo, you may be able to tell that I have a look on my face that is literally the definition of sheer terror. Because last night, I was just out and about minding my own business when suddenly I was eyed down by the ops. Now, you're probably wondering, for what reason could they ever want to arrest me? And well, everybody, the truth is, I committed tax fraud. I know that's hard to hear too, but guys, I just thought I would tell you. But don't worry, this will not be the last you see of me. I will be escaping prison.
There's going to be a prize.
What's the prize?
No. Shh. Give me the prize.
The prize is the...
Huh?
Oh wow, I've always wanted a thaw.
Hello, my baby.
Whoa. Not so close, bro. I almost...
Well then, I think it's about time to get started.
but like, when?
Whoa. Oh no. Whoa.
Here are the teams.
What? I'm on a team with the sun? He can't even do anything.
What? I have you know he's working very hard. He's the only reason you're not freezing to death right now.
Whatever, dude.
Hey, clock guy? What? Should we name our teams? You all get 15 seconds to decide your team name, and that's it. The last thing said will be chosen as your team name.
The lost
It's time to be quiet now, a 57 ball. That team over there. That one there. 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
Whoa, us? Okay.
Okay, let's see. You're an orange container. I have an orange spot right here, and he's an orange, so let's be team orange.
I'm not even an orange.
Whatever, green. You still have an orange leaf anyway.
Not anymore.
Are you kidding me right now? Orange!
Hey!
Time is up, man. Time is up. Oh, okay.
The next group, choose your team name.
Okay, street sign, car tire, and pool ball. Dang, if only you were like a street lamp or crossing signal or something. Would have had a cool team name idea for that.
Teams? What are the... There's only 10 of us. What's the point?
We're running out of time. This is definitely the strongest team. I believe that we'll make it far. So let's make our team name the strongest team on Earth. What?
Well, can we change it?
No.
Last team.
I think I have the perfect team name. Awesome. Because I'm awesome.
Ace, Abby, Aberration, Abject, Abomination,
funny
Aboriginal,
wise
Aardvark, Abacus.
A toy?
Yep.
Sounds great.
What is that?
You know what? You can have it back. I don't want it anymore. Your first challenge is to get that thing to stop making noise. I've made 2 other copies of the card, and all 3 teams can participate now. Go on and do it. After time is up, I will listen to see if all the cards are completely gotten rid of.
Well, how much time are we talking?
Any ideas?
What is it? What are you even...
Just go through one of the portals.
Yeah, do that.
Wait, what? A portal?
Oh, right. Yeah, these are portals. Just find the one that goes to space or something. Bring it there.
Okay then. Narp. Okay, don't think I want to do this anymore.
Guys, I think it's the purple one.
Why didn't you just say that? Ugh, alright. Give me the purple one. Whoa.
Is he okay?
Wheel.
What?
Gotta do the challenge now.
I know. What do you think I'm doing?
Walking back and forth.
No. Ah!
Okay, well, we gotta get this card as far away from here as possible if you don't want the host to hear it.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah, nice one.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, that's my favorite song, man.
That! Nothing!
Yeah, we already know you're doing nothing, dude.
Our card, it's not making noise. Clark said he made copies of the card, but none of this is even close to the original. Who's Jason?
Let me see that. Oh, yeah, I can't read any of this, brah.
Anyways, since we have no way of knowing when the challenge ends, we should just simply hide it for now.
I can't read any of this, brah.
Anyways, since we have no way of knowing when the challenge ends, we should just simply hide it for now.
Boo! That's so cheap, brah. I think we should try something a little more interesting and put it somewhere.
It's time for the challenge to end.
On second thought, right here is probably just fine, broski.
Hey, Clock. Do you think we could get an actual timer next time?
Maybe. Just maybe.
Team Yep, you're going first.
No, we ain't. Ah!
Meh, is that what I think it is?
To know what you're talking about, bruh.
Okay, looks like you are safe.
Hello there. I'm Refill Station.
Hey, what's going on? Hey,
Where's that card of yours?
Ooh, no.
Good enough for me. Wow, that worked?
What can I say? I'm good at persuasion.
and so now, right? Oh, so Team Earth, where's your card?
I kicked it!
He kicked it.
I kicked it!
Wow.
Where is it?
I don't know. Kicked it!
Can't find it.
It seems like you're safe after all and all that, you know. Oh, all of you finished the challenge.
I don't even know who to put up for elimination. Well, I guess I'll just leave it to the good old wheel decide. Go ahead and spin that wheel, man.
Ugh, that's not fair. I demand that you host a second challenge so that we can
Wait a second, wait a
actually
second.
needs
Stop.
to be first.
I hear a card.
Uh-oh.
Snatch.
I'm back. Uh-oh, what happened?
It looks like Earth.
We got.
Oh, what is that?
You know what? You can have it back. I don't want it anymore. Your first challenge is to get that thing to stop making noise.
I've made 2 other copies of the card, and all 3 teams can participate now.
Go on and do it. After time is up, I will listen to see if all the cards are completely gotten rid of.
But how much time are we talking?
Any ideas?
What is it? What are you even?
Just go through one of the portals.
Yeah, do that.
Wait, what? A portal?
Oh, right. Yeah, these are portals. Just find the one that goes to space or something. Bring it there.
Okay then. Nope. Nope. Okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Guys, I think it's the purple one.
Why didn't you just say that? Ugh, alright. Give me the purple one. Whoa.
Is he okay?
Wheel.
What?
Gotta do the challenge now.
I know! What do you think I'm doing?
Walking back and forth?
But no! Ah!
Okay, well, we gotta get this card as far away from here as possible if we don't want the host to hear it.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah, nice one.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, that's my favorite song, man.
Not that. Not that.
I'm doing.
Nothing.
Yeah, we already know you're doing nothing, dude.
Our card, it's not making noise. Clock said he made copies of the card, but none of this is even close to the original. Who's Jason?
Let me see that. Oh, yeah, I can't read any of this, brah.
Anyway, since we have no way of knowing when the challenge ends, we should just simply hide it for now.
Boo! That's so cheap, brah. I think we should try something a little more interesting and put it somewhere.
Time for the challenge to end.
On second thought, right here is probably just fine, bros.
Hey, Clock. Do you think we could get an actual timer next time?
Maybe. Just maybe.
Team Yep, you're going first.
No, we ain't.
Is that what I think it is?
Dunno what you're talking about, bruh.
Okay, looks like you are safe.
Hello there. I'm Refill Station.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, where's that card of yours?
No.
Good enough for me. Wow, that worked?
What can I say? I'm good at persuasion.
And so now, right? So Team Earth, where's your card?
I kicked it!
He kicked it.
I kicked it!
Wow, where is it?
I don't know. Kicked it!
Okay, I can't find it. It seems like you're safe after all, and all that, you know. Oh, all of you finished the challenge. I don't even know who to put up for elimination. Well, I guess I'll just leave it to the good old wheel to decide. Go ahead and spin that wheel, man.
Ugh, that's not fair. I demand that you host a second challenge so that we can
Wait a second, wait a second.
needs
Stop.
to be first.
I hear a card.
Uh-oh.
Snatch.
I'm back. Uh-oh, what happened?
It looks like Earth and Team Yep win the first challenge.
That's not what winning is.
And hey, you were up for elimination.
Hello.
Stop that.
Aw.
Vote for the... Vote for the...
Running a small business takes grit and determination, and a communication solution from Spectrum Business. Just $59.99 a month for 600 megabits per second internet when bundled with Spectrum Business Connect, plus a free mobile line. All from Spectrum Business.
a stripy tent.
My purpose has been served.
Ah, it's so nice and lovely today. Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, this is puzzling, to say the least.
Down before looking up at the sky on the third day of bug summer. Wait, where's Bugbo? He said he'd be here. This isn't right. He'd never miss Wrecking Ball Day. Dear pesky insects, your precious
Bugbo has been taken captive by none other than me. If you ever want to see your precious pal again, then it's up to you, and only you, to find me. If you do not find me within 12 bug hours, then you can say goodbye to your beloved mini-beast. Unkind regards, your arch nemesis.
Oh, Grub, this is really bad. Bugbo's in danger. We gotta call Hoppo right now. Hoppo, we need your help. Bugbo's been bug-napped.
Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied right now.
Well, Joe, looks like it's up to just you and me to stop this mystery man and find our friend.
You're gonna die!
Oh my.
A cucumber indeed, my friend. Or should I say, my enemy.
Oh my.
You, I say, my enemy.
Oh my.
You foolish bug. Once my timer strikes bug zero, your time will be up, and my nefarious plan will be executed successfully. Hooray!
How interesting.
If your friends arrive in time, they'll be forced to watch you go splat.
Goodness gracious me.
And if they don't, you'll perish alone, knowing your so-called friends never cared to find you.
Oh no, that just wouldn't do. You see, everyone, true friends stick together and help each other out no matter what. Those without friends have no one to stick to, and in turn become bitter, spiteful lunatics with only selfish goals.
Quiet, you troublesome creature! If I didn't have such a genius foolproof plan, I'd activate the device right now and destroy you!
Okay.
Well, we've searched all over the globe, but no sign of Bugbo. Oh, Grub. The only place we haven't checked is all the way up Mount Bobo, which is so steep. It'll take bug days. If only we had a red brother.
Say the Red Brother!
Whoa, who are you?
The Red Brother!
Hello.
It seems you two need my help. Here, take this mushroom. It will provide you with safe passage to the summit.
Wow. What could this mean? Ooh, various items. But which one to choose?
Whenever I have a problem that needs solving, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what would Gradient Joe do?
Wait, no. That's it. A, the ladder. B, the snake. Or C, the grappling hook. Let's find out. Are you sure? Okay, I trust you. Wow, you're a genius, Joe.
My purpose has been
Well, what bugs around grubs around, I guess. Look, a secret lair. Bugbo must be in there. Well, here goes.
Well. It seems you two have fallen directly into my trap. Now it is time for me to unleash the bees.
Bye, bees. Bugbo, is it really you?
Right as rain, Spider.
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here.
So fast, Bugs.
Who are you?
What? You don't recognize me? Well, perhaps this will jog your memory. That's right. It was I, Thomas Fleischwater, once again. Thought you could get rid of me last time, but I'm back.
Joe, who is this strange man?
You're very peculiar, whoever you are.
It's me, your arch nemesis, your familiar foe.
I don't recognize you, I don't know.
Humbug! Or should I say, humbug? Because now that you're here, I'm going to humbug well. You fear the privilege of being my divine connection. This giant fly swatter will swat this fly like an orange in a juicer, and then I will finally have my revenge. Revenge!
But why? Why are you like this, Doctor? Why?
Well, you see, when I was a young man, I was a minimum wage employee at Slaughter Incorporated, a factory that specialized in the creation of pet things, such as the fly swatter. It was a dangerous environment, that much everyone knew. Everyone except me. Nobody warned me about the dangers of the conveyor belt. On one fateful day of making fly swatters, I tripped and fell onto the conveyor belt in front of me. I couldn't get on it. It sent me directly into the mouth of the fly swatter machine thingy. I went through the worst torture you could ever imagine. I was crushed, rotated, and spun around really fast. After the machine was done, I came out of the fly swatter. I was permanently changed. And from that day on, I despised Bugbo and wanted to make him and all bugs like him pay for what he did to me. And there you have it. That's why I am Thomas Fleischwater.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, sir. But that doesn't give you the right to be rude.
You should listen to Gerbo, mister.
Why should I listen to an eight-legged fool?
What are we gonna do? He can't be reasoned with. He's a monster. Wait, I have a plan, but you have to do everything I say. Do you understand?
You may have bested me fair and square this time, Bugbo, but mark my words. I'll be back. I'll get you. I'll get you someday.
Sorry, pal. It seems you've swatted your last fly.
No, Bugbo, you and I are so different. Join me. Together we can accomplish so much. You and I, Bugbo.
Come on, guys.
You and I. It's not my fault, Bugbo. It's you. I'm a victim of this bug world. You are the real villain here. You. If you kill me, you'll be just as bad as me. What? If you kill me, you'll never know the truth.
Well, guys, I simply cannot thank you enough for rescuing me from that forgettable fiend.
What was his name again?
Forgot.
Okay.
I'm just glad it all turned out A-okay in the end. How do you feel, Joe?
So much today, Bubba. We went all around the globe looking for you.
Quite impressive, yes. For that, I'd say you are deserving of a reward. 1 gold star.
Yay!
But of course, today's ordeal could have been prevented had you been more vigilant, so your reward is null and void.
Oh.
However, you did in turn learn a valuable lesson.
Really? What was it? Tell me.
Togetherness.
So we're logged.
Welcome to the City of Dreams. Where anyone can get a
logged on at the same time, assuring that Operation Blackout would be looked back at as the most popular event in the website's history. Upon completing the mission, Penguins got an Operation Blackout background. This is the last photo of my penguin that I was ever able to find, from 2016, and I never removed that background. I'm recording this as I'm editing, and the music's making me want to cry. I have so many emotions wrapped up in this event, and my memories from it. Fans had wanted to know if Antarctic was the director for years, and rewarding those kids' investigations like this was the most satisfying experience imaginable to a young me, to thousands of other young kids. In fact, Operation Blackout had been conceived by fans in the first place.
It was an event that couldn't have happened without the community, which is my #1 favorite thing about Blackout. Around Christmas time, we had this big roadmap, but unfortunately somebody had taken a picture of it. That whiteboard photo leaked. What was interesting about it was it had this big period where our developers needed a break so that they could go and fix stuff. So we wanted to give them some time in the schedule to say, this is your time, you don't have to do anything else, you're just gonna be able to focus on this. And so we called it like Blackout. It was a client blackout. There was gonna be no updates to the client code. And then so it leaked out to the fans and it was like, this is so exciting, what is it? What is Blackout? What is Blackout? So for me, I think, well, that's fantastic because some of our best stories came from riffing off of ideas that were sort of rumors and myths that were coming from fans. And at the time, Lisa was like, I needed something to help with tours because we would bring tours in through the studio. And so they were working on what they called the tour video. But the problem was that video was so good. When we were launching the YouTube channel, I was like, this video is too good. I was like, Lane, don't you think we should launch this? He's like, absolutely. And yeah, the one thing that was fun in that video is, they were interviewing the writing team. I was like, oh, you know what we should do? We should riff on that Blackout thing. You know how they said Blackout in front? One of the fans, or a couple of the fans, they turned it into like Operation Blackout. We basically said, what if we pretended that was a real mission? I was like, just put up a Word document and start writing something. It doesn't matter what it is. We'll make it sort of slightly out of focus anyways. So just riff on something, do a first draft, whatever. Pretend you're actually going to write a mission, just go for it. And so we get this nice over-the-shoulder shot for like a couple seconds in the B-roll, in the videos. So it made it look like we were actually working on something to do with watching. So then it just stoked the fire. And the great thing is we left the fire burning. So for a long time, we didn't do anything with Blackout. But it just kept organically going. Fans were talking about it. And suddenly they would start writing into the support team. Now suddenly, over time, we're hearing more about Blackout, where the whole team is. And yeah, the rest is history.
I remember waiting for Operation Blackout for years. I had no concept of what a client blackout was. I thought it was a real party that could happen at any time, and evidently so did hundreds upon hundreds of other kids. And the team at Club Penguin made it a reality. Waiting for Operation Blackout wasn't my only memory attached to it. Playing through the event is vivid in my head still. My friend and I would call after school every single day during this event and spend the entire evening trying to meet Herbert and just being terminally online. I got in trouble for trying to play Operation Blackout in the elementary school library as well. We discovered glitches that allowed us to access the catwalks early, as well as end the mission and see the cutscene before November 24th. He called me in the morning before school, and I ran to my computer and watched that scene, and that's all we could talk about at school, and no one believed us. Because everyone at school was talking about Operation Blackout.
The blackout.
Blackout! Blackout!
Blackout.
Blackout!
It's on at T-Mobile because new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 14 on us. And with Apple TV Plus included, you can catch all the hottest new shows. Get iPhone 14 and Apple TV Plus on us at T-Mobile.
I didn't realize how many options and variety were a part of the S-Gel family. It's lightweight, it's bold, it doesn't smear, with amazing no-bleed technology and a super sleek design. My name is Morgan Levant, and my pen is Sharpie S-Gel.
I don't know how much of it stuck with him, but it has always stuck with me. The image of a character surrounded by fire, or a dark grim skies and mounting snow is what I think of when I think of intense action sequences. I listened to the music from Operation Blackout on a loop for a while, like many times per year, every year. Not only because it sounds really good, but also because of the nostalgia and emotions attached to it. Not long after Operation Blackout, my time on Club Penguin a variety of reasons. First and foremost, I entered middle school, and it lost a lot of magic at that age. You started to realize how simple it was. 2 months after Operation Blackout, the Penguin was completely redesigned as the game looked forward its future. The Penguin was completely redesigned as the game looked forward its future. And while, with the benefit of hindsight, the new designs are better, I hated them back then. My memories took place in these rooms, not these ones. The imperfection was charming, and then all of that was taken away in 2013. Barring the boilerplate 2012 Christmas party, Operation Blackout was the end of the first era of Club Penguin. Everything changed going forward. And while Disney's buyout proved incredible at first, it was also a double-edged sword, and they soon began using the game as a vehicle for cross-promotion, and parties became crossovers with Marvel superheroes, Star Wars, Frozen, Muppets, Monsters Incorporated, Descendants, and more, which is something I saw through in middle school and frankly didn't like. After Operation Blackout, the first Star Wars crossover was the only party that I thoroughly enjoyed, and soon after, EPF events were the only things that brought me back onto Club Penguin. 2013 saw some more in-game events, the small but memorable Operation Hot Sauce, and the large but forgettable Operation Puffle. I love the new music, but I found the experience very underwhelming. Going back and looking at clips though, I don't think it's that bad. I think I was just picky back then and expecting blackout levels of epic for every preceding operation. By this point, Club Penguin was winding down, and mass layoffs made the news more and more often. The more obscure later operations, Operation Crustacean and Operation Triumph, frankly didn't even seem like complete events. Upon finishing both of those, I didn't realize it was supposed to be over. I was wondering what I do next. They were nothing. Soon after Operation Triumph, in March 2017, Club Penguin closed its servers, and I wasn't even able to be there because I was out of the country on a mission trip. But despite the disappointment that I felt in the years after Blackout, the events of Blackout itself ensure that I will never forget about Club Penguin. It was everything that I had ever wanted as a fan of the game. To Polo Field, Business Moose, Lance Lane, Dave, and everyone who made Operation Blackout and Club Penguin in general a thing, thank you. you want to see more deep dives into nostalgic topics like this, like the video, subscribe, follow me on social media, and consider joining my growing army of Patreon supporters. Thank you. Also, why did Rookie know the director's identity before me? I was a way better agent than Rookie. Rookie messed everything up. Why did Rookie already know?
We must follow the will of the ancestors. Accept your calling, descendant.
The descendants are risking their lives for us, for Albion.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Kippa!
If there was one game that 7-year-old you could go dancing, buy clothes, make some pizza, and of course start a relationship, it's Club Penguin. And after Disney shut down the original game in favor of a new mobile game called Club Penguin Island, which then original game in favor of a new mobile game called Club Penguin Island, which then got shut down again by Disney, there was a fan-created site called Club Penguin Online that was just like the old days we all remember. And then it got shut down by Disney. But there was also another fan site called Club Penguin Rewritten, which was even more like the old days we all remembered. And then it got shut down by Disney and overtaken by the London City Police. But before that final takedown happened, I had the chance to go on and explore the entirety of what this last remnant had to offer. I was ready to waddle around and I began just like any other 23-year-old would and wished to create my penguin. I have an old account called Halo Wars, but I was hoping to start fresh with a more fitting name. Large, big, huge. Yeah, that'll do it. I made my password, put in my parents' email address, applied on a government form, and it was time to log in. There was only a handful of servers online, with Blizzard being the clear favorite, but this little chapel on Antarctic interested me, so I logged in there. Who the fuck was that? Well, maybe some free items to start would be... Okay, I guess not. Hey, look, it's me! P105225540, just like Mama used to make. For some reason, I checked my friends list, which was stupid. I already know the answer. I expected to log into a bright, bustling town with funky music playing, but there was no one. And the only noise I could hear was a soft howling of the wind. Terrified, I went to the town where I spotted my first survivor. What was different about Antarctic compared to the rest of the servers is that it had set chat filters. Only say specific things. I guess this was to stop 4-year-olds from singing slurs left and right, but I only have one question on my mind. Want to play Moncala? I keep clicking the button until eventually it was fun. I asked again to show I was serious. I asked again. I waited. I asked again. Alright, this place is fun. I'm going to play this. This is much more what I was expecting. Finally, so many people to play Moncala with. I began asking some awesome questions and was getting just extremely enthusiastic answers all around when someone in the corner quietly said, "I'm famous, you know." I was very curious to find out their true identity. I had to know if I was playing with Ariana Grande. Being in the presence of a celebrity, I activated my fear response, but was met with silence. I fled the scene in embarrassment and found my way to the theater. Maybe I could become a part of the play. Maybe I could even try out for the lead role. I was rejected. I hovered the button and worked up the courage to press it, but I simply couldn't. I decided to be an audience member and try to get myself engrossed in the hey, can you turn that down? That place sucked. I'm getting a pizza. Holy shit. Upon entering the pizza parlor, I found a group of incredibly handsome individuals cloaked in orange, playing various sorts of instruments. I checked my inventory to see if I had what it takes to join the crowd, but I did not. I feverishly asked my new best friends to patiently wait there for me. The only way to get what I needed was through capitalism, so I got a job making pizzas and sprinted to the nearest shopping store. Myself some really cool hair, the color orange, and a snow shovel. I don't know why, but it spoke to me. I knew I could buy some instruments over at the lighthouse, so I ventured my way over there. With only a few coins left to spare, I couldn't afford any of the guitars that I wanted, and I was late for it. But this is when some fellow penguin enjoyer called out to me and brought me on stage.
They told me to join in, but I still didn't have any money to afford an instrument. So I did what anyone in my situation would do. I started shoveling. After just a few short moments, the band was already obsessed with my abilities and made me lead singer. Penguins started flocking in from all around town to hear our sound. I mean, these guys have been there for me since day one, and our band was primed to take over the world. But as much as I loved my new band, I knew I had to go check on all my buddies waiting for me back at the pizza parlor. I hurried over to the front door and put on my penguin best. Feeling confident in my new sleek orange, I proudly entered the restaurant to greet they were all gone. To work off my frustrations, I went to do some kickflips in the mines. Eventually, I came back to the band and was surprised to see that I hadn't been abandoned. A second time, I bought a snare drum, but couldn't afford the drumsticks to use it, so I danced with it on stage. However, it was instantly apparent that something was missing, and I had just the ticket to make everything better. The Shovel Man was back. Everyone started freaking out over the return. The crowd started going insane. After a successful jam sesh, me and the boys went out for some classic after-work skiing. Having been molded in the snow, I knew these guys didn't stand a single chance. Eventually, I got sick of winning and decided to explore the town and see if anybody had heard the whispers, had heard the legends of the Shovel Man. You guys ever hear of the Shovel Man? Funny you mention it. I am the Shovel Man. Want to play Moncala? It was Saturday night, and I was ready to get my dance on over at the disco. What the hell is that thing? This house sucks. There's nothing even here. This is my house. Hankering for a slice of pizza, I decided to go back to the parlor and... No way! Oh my god, no way! I was so stoked to be here with all my best friends, but I had to know. Have they heard? As I waited for these orange soldiers to respond, someone from the crowd called out my name. I was ecstatic to see my old drummer mate, Propolino. It's been too long, my friend. Your hat is like your talent. Overshadows the entire room. Ice cream emoji. It was obvious that Propolino really understood who I was and was someone I could call my friend. So, taking in every ounce of courage I could possibly muster, I asked them one massive question. But they don't know how to play that, so my Moncala dream dies once more this day. However, he offered to play some Connect 4 out at his cabin in the woods. Sounds great to me. I sat down at a table, but before Propolino could make it, the Dogecoin CEO sat down to play. I canceled the game immediately and sent them away. We spent the next 6 hours playing Connect 4 until finally I won. He seemed to have trouble comprehending his loss and was starting to go insane. Needing some space away from my best friend slash future killer, I journeyed out into the town. I found a man named December 25th dressed in a Santa costume, but when I asked them if they were the real Santa, or knew the real Santa, they didn't move. They stared off into the distance, frozen. This wasn't the real Santa at all.
Lowe's knows every pro needs a partner that works as hard as they do. That's why with our partnership program, when you spend, you earn. Whether you are the crew or you got a crew, you got this. We got you.
Back at the town, some girl was claiming a fashion show was going on at her igloo, or Iggy for the hip kids. I went to her Iggy and right away decided to make my presence known, though I know I had to prove it, so I encouraged the entire room to watch and learn, until the teacher showed up and made me sit down. Look, the shovel. Everyone here was dressed to the nines in penguin attire, and all I had was my shovel, which they were unimpressed by for some reason. So I hid in the corner for a while. Once the anxiety got to be too much, I announced my departure and sprinted back home. Safety. I wanted to explore around the map some more, so I went to the dojo and found out that what used to be my favorite card game, Card Jutsu, wasn't even working. I also found someone named Sussy Your Mama, who left before I could tell them that their name is Sussy Your Mama. Maybe the iceberg will be... Oh! Did anybody else see that? At the town, someone was asking if there were any fashion shows going on, and seeing that I am a man of the people, I invited everyone back to my Iggy until I realized that it actually wasn't available to the general public. Yo, come to my Iggy now, it's bumping. I spent a full 34 seconds inviting the crowd and still no one was showing up to my party. I went home to see if I could spruce the place up a bit and got the only thing I could afford. Now this is a party star. Holy shit! In the midst of me thanklessly decorating my place, Propolino appeared. The only thing they said was, "Come to the cave mine." So this is where it finally happens. As quickly as he showed up, he left, and he didn't even answer my question. I hurriedly walked into the mine, not sure if I would be walking out of it, when deep inside was tons of witnesses. I mean, tons of hardworking penguins. Turns out Propolino wanted me to come help down at the mine so I could dig up some gold for myself and help power the generator. The people of this mine offered me a hat when I was just a man with a shovel, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I took off the shovel because it didn't matter where I was or what I was doing. I was always going to be the shovel man, but I felt empty without it, so I put it back on 15 seconds later. Ever hear the story of the shovel man? And finally, this wasn't like Twitter comments. Someone finally asked. They may have lost interest immediately after I answered, but somebody actually asked. As I began digging through the earth with friends like Matthew, Broderick, I offered my help, stating that with just mere pocket change, anybody could acquire a shovel for themselves. And then a shovel hater unearthed themselves. What was that? While I wasn't looking, Propolino snuck off to buy himself a shovel, and I realized that this was a perfect teaching opportunity. First, remove all earthly objects from your body. Second, feel the rhythm and let it move you. Do you guys watch anime? Within seconds, Propolino was mastering the art of the shovel and learning what it means to truly dig. Where is the snow coming from, sensei? The inner reaches of your own personal garden. Grab hold of not only the shovel, but also the past, present, and future alongside it. I can see it. The past generations. Past shovel users calling out to you, granting you their ability. It was clear that Propolino had what it took to be the shovel man. And with my time here coming to a close and all my teachings being passed on, I felt confident that this town, this world, this server would be safe for a long time. Propolino requested another way to contact me, but shovelmen do not tie themselves to such ideals. Also, I didn't want to give my email address to what might be a 10-year-old on Club Penguin. Throughout my time here, there was really only one question that went unanswered. Want to play Moncala?
So let's go. Let the time roll, let it free your soul. Hands in the sky if you feel it one time. Welcome to my gents, new state of mind.
Aqua di Gio, the new refillable parfum, Giorgio Armani.
When Club Penguin shut down, people were pretty angry. But did you know that what unraveled as a result was a disturbingly dark network of unethical hackers, ruthless scammers, and child predators? Let's explore the story of one man who rose above the odds to become a ruthless tyrant in the Club Penguin community. This is the rise and fall of Riley, the infamous Club Penguin Predator. Launching in 2005, Club Penguin was a browser-based game that allowed players to have fun in a large online community with a persona of their own Penguin avatar. By 2007, Club Penguin would rise to an astonishing 30 million registered accounts and would be bought out by Disney. The game would only continue to rise, reaching over 200 million registered accounts by 2013, before succumbing to an inevitable decline. Over the next few years, the popularity of Club Penguin would slowly decrease, resulting in company layoffs and fewer support for the game and many of its terrible spin-off projects. Eventually, in 2017, Club Penguin announced that the community-loved Penguin Party would be shut down. And on March 29th, players logged in for one last time to celebrate with their penguin friends, before being disconnected and greeted with the message, "Thanks for playing, waddle on." I know. Wipe the tears and get ready, because Disney had all their players in their caring thoughts as they would release the successor to Club Penguin Island. This game was terrible. It was nothing like Club Penguin, with the sole exception that you played as a penguin. People were rightfully angry as this game came out literally the day that Club Penguin shut down. It's like if you have an iPhone and I give you an Android. Why would you do it? Alright, so now let me give you a little business talk. When demand exceeds supply, there's value. And there was now a lot of angry Club Penguin fans who wanted their old game back, with no servers available to play on. There was a market for Club Penguin servers, and savvy business entrepreneurs answered. Private servers using the original Club Penguin source code were created to give players a space to rejoice and enjoy their favorite penguin pastime once again. Club Penguin Reborn, Club Penguin Rewritten, Super CPPS, Virtual Penguin. These are just some of the many Club Penguin private servers that opened in the wake of Club Penguin's official shutdown. While maybe some of these servers were created out of the good intended hearts of passionate Club Penguin members, and to be honest, I'd say very, very few. Most of these servers were created with the hope of one thing, that sweet, sweet cheddar, baby. So how would these servers get money? Well, one way is microtransactions. A server gets made, the server gets players, the server sells some item or bonus you can get in-game, and the server gets money. Minecraft and Roblox do this very often, and some 4 main... Hit it!
Welcome to Mini Roblox Mysteries, a mini-series of equally mini Roblox-themed mysteries that were too short to warrant a video of their own. Today, I'll be looking at 4 small mysteries, mostly based around Roblox lost media. In Roblox's infancy, in February 2006, the 2 Roblox founders made some changes to their user database. At the time, Roblox only had around 200 members, as Roblox had only been publicly available for short.
Come, allow me to introduce you to my greatest acquaintances. Here's one of my companions, Gradient Joe. He's the cleverest person I know. Whenever I have a problem that needs solving, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what would Gradient Joe do? Unfortunately, Joe isn't a very talkative fellow, so he doesn't often share his vast knowledge with the rest of us. Greedy Joe. They ought to call you Gradient Joe. Ho ho ho!
Oh man.
Don't worry, Gerbo, it's for the better.
Vote for Gradient Joe as your new mayor.
Joe.
Is it the caramel, the cinnamon, or the pumpkin spice that'll make you live, laugh, launch yourself into a pile of cardigans? Maybe you find out. The pumpkin spice signature latte.
This is Bob, a system administrator. And this is Bobby, the boss of Bob. Also a strong supporter of Bob, as she is constantly impressed by how quickly and efficiently Bob manages security and access to the company's resources using NordLayer. Be like Bobby. Help your IT team achieve more by directing them to NordLayer.com. NordLayer, cybersecurity for business, developed by the standard of NordVPN.
so nice and lovely today. Oh, I didn't see you there. So nice of you to join me here in my little world. My name is Bugbo, and well, I'm just here to have a grand old time. And hopefully, you are too. Come, allow me to introduce you to my greatest acquaintances. Here's one of my companions, Gradient Joe. He's the cleverest person I know. Whenever I have a problem that needs solving, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what would Gradient Joe do? Unfortunately, Joe isn't a very talkative fellow, so he doesn't often share his vast knowledge with the rest of us. Greedy Joe. They ought to call you Gradient Joe. Ho ho ho. This is Gerbo, another pal of mine. He isn't very bright, but he sure is fun to be around. What are you up to today, my friend?
Just collecting rocks.
Collecting rocks? Any particular reason for collecting rocks today? Any special occasion?
No, just collecting rocks.
Well, that just won't do. Collecting rocks with no rhyme, no reason. Partaking in an activity such as this without a purpose is absurd.
Oh, you're right, Bugbo. What am I gonna do with all these rocks? I'll stomps high with a...
Whoa. Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember, over-ambition is man's greatest imperfection. Keep your objectives reasonable. 12 stumps? Goodness me, Gerbo.
Sorry.
You are, friend. They're known for their 8 legs.
Yeah.
Besides, your rocks are much too small. You need to start again.
Oh man, where do I get bigger rocks?
We'll have to visit the stone merchant.
Hello, I am the stone merchant.
Yeah.
How fee of
This I ask myself.
You then.
Gradient O will A. Steal the great big stones from the merchant. B. Challenge the merchant to a fierce duel. Or C. Attempt to make a deal with the stubborn merchant. Let's find out.
A deal? A deal? A deal? Ah!
Well, take a look at that. The merchant is no more.
Hey, look! Big rocks!
Grab them.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
Wow, I haven't seen this many big rocks so close together since...
Gerbo, every second we don't spend constructing is a second completely wasted. It's time we begin. Boy, oh boy, man, oh man. We did it, friends. We really structured these stones.
Wow, cool. Now what?
We're finished, Gerbo. We can rest.
Yay! Hey, Bugbo, what are these scratches on the rocks?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, Joe, did you have fun today?
The markings! They're glowing!
What could this mean?
It is I, Inepta the Stone Mage. You have assembled the Saxon Turin, and now I may finally rest. For that, I thank you three. Today you have proven that you truly are pure of heart and strong of mind. Never change, my friends, never change!
Wow, a real wizard!
See, Gerbo? Look what we accomplished today when we put our mind to something.
You're right, Bugbo. From now on, I'll only collect rocks if it means something.
Excellent, Gerbo. And what else did we learn today?
What did we learn?
Togetherness makes anything effortless.
Sorry I'm late, everyone.
Hey, Hoppo. We built a stone structure today.
And here...
so nice and lovely today. Oh hey, didn't see...
I didn't see you there. How kind of you to join us again.
Oh, hey Bugbo.
Hello, my friendly fun friend. Hello indeed.
Hello.
How are you today, Gerbo? What's this?
Oh, this? It's a big tree, I think.
I don't like it. I want it gone. Joe, cut it down.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, Gerbo. It's for the better.
Whoa.
Hold on. What's that? It would appear as though we have discovered a secret.
Secrets are cool.
On the contrary, Gerbo. Keeping too many secrets can only lead to trouble.
Huh. You're right, Bugbo. From now on, I'll never keep secrets again.
Excellent, Gerbo. But this is irrelevant. Now, what do we do about this hole?
I'm not sure.
What a dilemma. Do you know what this means? That's right, folks. It's time to solve yet another problem by asking ourselves, what would Gradient Joe do? Do you think he will A. Take a leap of faith and jump inside the mysterious hole? B. Drop something inside the mysterious hole? Or C. Do nothing? Let's find out. Well, Joe, it's very unlike you to refuse to take initiative, but if that's the way you want to be, I can't stop you. Well, no time like the present.
Wow, we got pretty lucky. We could have really hurt ourselves.
Well, Gerbo, life's all about taking risks.
I don't like risks.
Wow, look at all this.
Whoa, a stripy tent.
Even better, Gerbo, a whole underground carnival, all to ourselves. Hello, you're free. Oh, I didn't know you were here. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Clown.
What are you doing here, then?
My name is the Hollow Clown, and this is my home. The decaying circus you see before you now was once the most beloved attraction in the land. Every day, visitors would line up for some joyful circus fun. That was, until during one of the mayor's speeches, when he tripped on a bouncy circus ball. He felt humiliated. quickly got back up on stage and declared all circuses illegal. Circus owners were ordered to destroy their attraction at once. For many, this was only a minor inconvenience. For me, however, it was a great tragedy. The circus was the only place I'd known. I couldn't get rid of it, but I couldn't keep it open either. So I hid it all under the oak tree. That's what I'm doing here, Hollow.
Oh no, this isn't fair at all. Someone has to do something about this.
You may be right, Gerbo, but how, oh how? The mayor is too powerful.
You're right.
The key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Those guys do some.
Some companies are big, others are small. We know they're.
This is Card Jitsu, and if you played Club Penguin in the late 2000s and early 2010s, you definitely remember it. But what you might not remember is the slow-building storyline told in the background over the course of 5 years. A battle between good and evil, and the journey to master the elements of fire, water, and snow. Learn about the behind-the-scenes struggle to make the games amidst.
You may have seen Selena Gomez.
We made, which is a card game.
These are my extended interviews with Chris Glidden and Russ, two of Club Penguin's developers. Segments of this to play Card Jitsu Fire, we all just click buttons until things happened. Researching this video was the first time I ever found out that the inner ring functioned like a 6-sided die and determined how many spaces you moved. I had no clue what was happening, ever.
At the time, it was just, hey, what if we could take the game that we made, which is a card game, and make other games off of it?
And so we were like, okay, let's do some games, one on sort of each element.
It's like, okay, well, what about the idea of moving a character around, adding that on top of the cards? And so I think fire just emerged from that. It's like, well, I guess we could be on top of a volcano and like moving around the stones on top of like, lava.
Troy and I, he had some games. Well, I was trying to remember what it was. There was an old Star Wars game that Card Jitsu Fire is loosely based on. It was inspired by. We didn't steal it. You didn't steal it. Just inspired by.
So it actually started as a board game. Card Jitsu Fire was originally like a paper prototype that Good T / Troy, he made this like cardboard piece, and we'd go and we would play this prototype, and we would walk around. It looked a little bit like Monopoly, actually.
We made them in real life first, and you play them in real life because you can tell whether the game is fun, and you can make changes really fast. If you go to code right away, you don't know what you're coding before you start coding. So first make the game in real life, make it fun, and
It's IHOP's 65th anniversary, and kids eat free from 4 to 10 p.m. So come on in and celebrate with the whole family. Only for a limited time at IHOP.
Part 3. The Great Storm of 2008. Club Penguin is fondly remembered for its world building. Its monthly events would constantly foreshadow upcoming events. For example, during the medieval party in May of 2012, a purple meteor could be seen through the telescope in the lighthouse. This wound up crashing the next month and became the impetus for June 2012's superhero takeover. Stuff like this was also happening back in the early days of Club Penguin, as the 2008 Halloween party brought a Category 5 hurricane to the island. Rain, thunder, and dark skies were present throughout most of October. In the dojo, every time lightning flashed, strange silhouettes could be seen through the windows. If you take one look at the YouTube videos that were being published at this time, you can see the kids were freaking out. This person claimed that this was as real as ninjas would get in Club Penguin. After the party ended, there was bad news. Lightning had struck the dojo and an avalanche had buried it. Now it was up to players to dig it out. To get as many penguins involved as possible, the dojo was now shown on the map, losing its status as a secret room. The Dig Out the Dojo event also coincided with a massive overhaul of the map, making it far more accurate than the previous version. The damage to the dojo was very noticeable. Walking outside through the catwalks would take you to an incredible, iconic scene that I fondly remembered. The dojo buried and a mysterious older penguin digging relentlessly. This penguin was gray, a color that had never been seen before in Club Penguin, and his name was merely 6 question marks. Was he a ninja? This player thought so, this player didn't. This player claimed to be Hannah Montana's cousin. In the next 2 weeks alone, while the dojo was dug out, there were almost 100 separate YouTube videos where players pointed out little Easter eggs and clues that the Club Penguin development team had hidden all over the island. In issue number 160 of the Club Penguin Times, clicking the N, I, N, J, and A in this newspaper article would tell you that snow, fire, and water are a triangle of power. Clicking on 5 light bulbs and then clicking on the wear a hard hat sign would show a photo of a ninja. And, most excitedly, silhouettes of ninjas could be seen jumping around the town on various monitors, Penguin Secret Agency, Secret Headquarters, Secret, on the ski hill, in the ski lodge, in the plaza, in the lighthouse, in the gift shop, and in the dojo. Some of these animations were triggered by clicking on specific places, while others were automatically timed at either 5-minute intervals or 30-minute intervals. Club Penguin team had taken these shadows that kids had decided were ninjas, actually made them ninjas. Between November 3rd and away from the exterior of the dojo. This was reflected on the map, and this was reflected in the room itself. The interior also had graphical updates each week, and according to various signs, training was about to begin. And on November 17th, we would get answers, as well as one of the biggest expansions to the Club Penguin experience in the history of the site. Newspaper articles were being published at this time. You can see the kids were freaking out. This person claimed that this was as real as ninjas would get in Club Penguin. After the party ended, there was bad news. Lightning had struck the dojo and an avalanche had buried it. Now it was up to players to dig it out. To get as many penguins involved as possible, the dojo was now shown on the map, losing its status as a secret room. The Dig Out the Dojo event also coincided with a massive overhaul of the map, making it far more accurate than the previous version. The damage to the dojo was very noticeable. Walking outside through the catwalks would take you to an incredible, iconic scene that I fondly remembered. The dojo buried and a mysterious older penguin digging relentlessly. This penguin was gray, a color that had never been seen before in Club Penguin, and his name was merely 6 question marks. Was he a ninja? This player thought so, this player didn't. This player claimed to be Hannah Montana's cousin. In the next 2 weeks alone, while the dojo was dug out, there were videos where players pointed out little Easter eggs and clues that the Club Penguin development team had hidden all over the island. In issue number 160 of the Club Penguin Times, clicking the N, I, N, J, and A in this newspaper article will tell you that snow, fire, and water are a triangle of power. Clicking on 5 light bulbs and then clicking on the wear a hard hat sign would show a photo of a ninja. And, most excitedly, silhouettes of ninjas could be seen jumping around the town on various monitors in the Penguin Secret Agency, secret headquarters, secret. On the ski hill, in the ski lodge, in the plaza, in the lighthouse, in the gift shop.
New Advil dual action tracking. Lights back paying 280 for 8 hours of relief.
The dojo. Some of these animations were triggered by clicking on specific places, while others were automatically timed at either 5-minute intervals or 30-minute intervals. The Club Penguin team had taken these shadows that kids had decided were ninjas and actually made them ninjas. Between November 3rd and November 17th of 2008, snow was gradually cleared away from the exterior of the dojo. This was reflected on the map, and this was reflected in the room itself. The interior also had graphical updates each week, and according to various signs, training was about to begin. And on November 17th, we would get answers, as well as one of the biggest expansions to the Club Penguin experience in the history of the site.
It started by building up hype and building up the story and the narrative through the Club Penguin Times, which, interestingly enough, was actually read at the time more than New York Times. And over the course of about 6 weeks, we kind of built to eventually finally launching what they'd all been waiting for, the ninjas in Club Penguin.
Part 4, Card Jitsu. On November 17th, clicking on the dojo on the map would take you to an exterior courtyard, and then you had to walk into the dojo, which now had its own in-game music. The dojo's theme music had actually originated in the Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force DS game, released earlier that year, and had now migrated into the actual online game. Although the ninja cameos all over the island disappeared once Card Jitsu launched, the penguins hopping past the dojo roof remained for the duration of Club Penguin. Training mats were set up in the dojo, and under an arch sat the mysterious figure. The Club Penguin Times had revealed that this was the sensei. After mastering the art of Card Jitsu in the wild for years, he was now ready to teach his power to the residents of Club Penguin. As the island's oldest and wisest citizen, he was immediately respected, although he was still a mysterious old man who spoke only in haiku, a 3-line form of Japanese poetry where the top line has 5 syllables, the middle has 7, and the bottom has 5. In this interview from the newspaper, Sensei speaks in haiku, but when the reporter asks him if he only speaks in haiku, he plainly says no and talks normally for the rest of the interview. By waiting on a map or speaking to the sensei, you will be paired with another player on your server for a game of Card Jitsu. To explain servers very quickly, an individual online server wasn't able to hold tens of thousands of players at once, so a massive server network was introduced, and you'd have to click on one before logging into the game. Think of them as alternate dimensions. The players in the Mammoth server could all see each other, but could not see any players from any other servers. Once paired with another player from your server, the game would begin, and with it, one of the most iconic pieces of music from the entirety of Club Penguin. Cardjitsu was essentially rock, paper, scissors mixed with the card game War. Each round, 2 players would put a card down. Whoever's card won would keep the card. The other would be discarded. How does a card win a round, you ask? Well, there are 2 factors. The first factor was the elements. Each card was assigned one of 3 elements: fire, water, or snow. Water cards would always put out fire cards because water puts out fire. Fire cards would always beat snow cards because fire melts snow. And snow cards would always beat water cards because snow freezes water, apparently. And so, that was the primary factor to determine the winning card. But when both players on the map played cards with the same element, then the card would default to a number system. Cards were numbered 2 to 12, and in the instance of an element tie, the card with the bigger number would win. If these were tied, the round would be a draw. Both cards would be discarded and no one would keep the card. Cards numbered 9 or higher were called power cards. All of them had their own specialized animation that would occur when played successfully. Power cards had special functions when played successfully, such as removing a scored card from another player or blocking a certain color or element from being played in the next round. There were 6 different colors of Cardjitsu cards, and these determined how one would win a game. The first way was to either have 3 of the same element in 3 different colors, or to have 1 of each element in 3 different colors. If you could achieve one of these 2, you would win the game. In the first year of Cardjitsu, 234 individual cards were launched across 4 waves, 51 of which were power cards, which means that 1 of 51 unique animations would play upon a power card being successfully used. Upon speaking to Sensei, the player would be awarded with 10 starter cards. Every player received the same 9 standard cards, and were then given one of these 3 power cards. These were by far the most common cards you would see on Club Penguin. At this time, outside of the starter deck, the only way to get new power cards was to purchase real-life card packs from mass retail. Each physical deck of cards would include a code that could be used to unlock in-game cards.
Because now we are part of Disney, this also resulted in merchandising.
And then when it starts approaching Pokemon levels of success in terms of the trading cards in the market, it must have just been so surprising.
The topic of Cardjitsu cards brings us to our first interviewee, Chris Glidden, who originally worked on the customer support team before joining the creation of Cardjitsu as a developer.
I wanted kids to be excited to write into us and for us to like just turn their dreams into reality. And it was fun too, because people would write, you'd be like, hey, I named my Puffle Stinky Pants. Isn't that cool? Like, yeah, that's awesome, man. You named your Puffle Stinky Pants, that's awesome. I named my Puffle Stinky Pants too because of you. Hope you have a great time on Penguin. See you later.
Chris was responsible for creating every single Cardjitsu card that you see in the game, gathering whatever stray art asset he could find from the last 3 years of Club Penguin to plaster on the cards.
A little bit was also me just finding the funniest spins. Was like, these would be really funny cards. I know Lance really wanted the Mighty Plunger. That didn't exist in the world. We made that originally for Cardjitsu. And I was like, okay, if he likes Plunger as power, let's find some of the goofiest things that would be the most unpowerful items. And that was kind of the creative approach that I took when I was picking the cards. But then there were other camps that were like, what are you doing? Like, why is the Plunger the most powerful, amazing? Like, think about the getting of, you're a kid, you buy a pack of cards, you want the things you love the most to be the cool foil cards. So it's kind of like, what are you doing, Polo? Like, why are you going and picking the Plunger as the power card when you should be picking like the thing that most kids want, which is Rockhopper? You know, the ninja card, like those. So that was the tension with that, because then it would play out in the game. So over time, we sort of moved away from comedy power cards and into like, you know, what are the most popular characters and places just to make sure that we gave those foil cards physically in the trading card games.
The Card-Jitsu game itself was only the beginning of the experience. Every few games you won would unlock a new belt. This probably only should have taken like a day, but I definitely struggled with this for over a full year, if I remember correctly. Once you reached the black belt, it was finally time to challenge the sensei and earn your ninja mask. Sensei was a CPU. If you attempted to challenge the sensei at any point,
and it's totally complete Monty Python nonsense. Actually, irony is a really great creative device if you can use it.
ninjas were then able to access a top secret ninja hideout. There, anyone could play Card-Jitsu together, and paid members were able to buy wave bracers and the ninja outfit, which, in combination with the mask, could allow the player to turn invisible upon hitting the dance button or the wave button, just like in Penguin Chat 3.
You would get access to this special room to prove that you got there, right? So you get to the ninja hideout and it proves that only the people in this room are black belts, right? So it was kind of special. It was like kind of like a secret agent. You were a special player because you'd made it that far.
Now, this wasn't just costumes, because again, remember, we had to make it epic. So it included belts that could be earned by leveling up throughout the game. It included a brand new area with a dojo and a sensei. And in fact, the game Card-Jitsu that was ultimately launched was so popular that it was played over 100 million times in the first 10 days after launch.
For the next year, Card-Jitsu proved incredibly popular with players. And what we didn't know is that this was just the beginning.
Basically, Card-Jitsu just skyrocketed to the #1 game. Like before, it was like sort of Sled Racer was your top and your sort of your Card Surfer, like all the games you would expect in your data to be the top games, right? Those ended up, Card-Jitsu just showed up and was like, bam, so much bigger than everything else. And you look at that and you're like, well, I guess people want more journeys, right? They're like, I want more. More quests, more stuff. Like, people just wanted to do more ninja adventures. It just naturally introduced the idea of, like, well, what's next?
He's the founder and CEO of a leading digital media and technology powerhouse. Your dreams are too important to leave to chance. Write them down and make them happen. And that, first step, even my pen needs to reflect my clarity and confidence. To set a goal for yourself that's really ambitious, writing that down every single day, and then you take it yourself. Your signature is on the marketing page. It's a symbol of commitment. My name is Morgan Devon. My canvas is empowerment, and my pen is Sharpie S. Joe.
It's a bug shade out my grandfather.
Number 5, I think, the eruption of 2009. Immediately after the Fall Fair, on September 14th, 2009, a newly discovered active volcano turned the skies red all around the island, based on the real-life Kelowna wildfires that had occurred around the time. Accompanying the red skies, the ninja shadows at the ski lodge and the lighthouse were nowhere to be seen. Sensei guided the player through a mini-event known as Sensei's Fire Scavenger Hunt, where various haiku messages would send you across the island to find heat-related items. All of this heat was being transferred into the ninja hideout, where a large spinning wheel on the left side made it very clear that something was coming. After a week of red skies, penguins were finally introduced to Karjitsu Fire. Well, actually no. That's what should have happened.
We ended up with so many bugs in Karjitsu Fire that we had to go through and fix all the bugs before we could launch it. So we had planned to launch it at a certain time. I think it was September of 2009, but there were so many bugs that QA was like, nope, can't launch it. And so we just, with the fire, the orange sky of the world just stayed up there forever. And then we basically were just like, are we just going to leave it orange sky for like 3 months until you guys finish QAing and fixing the bugs of this game? Like, are we ever going to launch it? What's going to happen? And so eventually we took the orange sky down, which was even super confusing. So there's this funny time in history where it's like orange sky and then no orange sky, and then it's just blue sky for a while, and then ta-da, here's Karjitsu Fire. Anyways, that was kind of internal problems that we had at the time that delayed that game.
Because of last-minute bugs, the launch of Karjitsu Fire was delayed. The scavenger hunt and the fire disappeared from the island after 2 weeks, the newspaper told ninjas to be patient, and the wheel disappeared from the ninja hideout, which would remain under construction for about a month, as the Club Penguin team struggled behind the scenes to figure out the bugs that were breaking Cardjutsu Fire. And, for the first time ever, we know exactly what those bugs were, as I introduce my second interviewee, Russ.
I was on the games team. I started with missions. I co-created Cardjutsu Fire, created Cardjutsu Water. Hello, I look like this.
Hello there.
Gray-haired, and that's how it goes. Yeah, I did the gear puzzle and the soldering puzzle when you're reassembling the magnet, the one where you have to put the water back and forth, the pink fluid. That was me. It's funny, we made it and then we tested it, and none of our kid testers could get it. It was too hard. So that's why on the stand, there was that little scroll we put down there, just in case you didn't get it. You could click on it and it showed you the sequence sort of thing.
Before getting held up on the PSA missions for too long, I asked Russ what specific bugs held up Cardjutsu Fire for so long.
In the end, it comes down to me. It's my fault. On Club Penguin, technically, you have a server and you have your client sitting on your computer, and they talk back and forth. And there's lots of messages that are going back and forth all at the same time. So when I was doing some of the initial code for this game, for Cardjutsu Fire, I had said, one of the things we wanted to do was to have the ability that penguins could come in and watch the game without playing it. So you would basically have a viewing gallery. So early on, I put in some code that said, while you were in here, we send these messages around that you could see, basically. So you weren't in the game, but you were watching the game, and these messages were going to you. As we went along, we said, okay, we're not going to do that, but we forgot to take that piece of code out. So what would happen is you would play a fire game, and everything was perfect. Scoring was perfect, everything happened. Penguins were jumping the right spots. You would go to play a second game. So your second game would go fine, but then all of a sudden, one of your penguins would do something weird. They might jump across the board, or you get the wrong spin, or the wrong card would show up. Something wrong would happen. And as you've probably figured out by now, because I never took this code out, every time you played a game, you were now sending your messages to yourself and the people you had played with. So your first game went to 4 players, your second game went to the 4 players that are there, and the 3 others. Or the three that you were playing with, and the three others that had played before. And as you played more games, this got worse. So now you're telling everybody in every other game what your moves were, and everybody was doing that. So the end result was your game would start fine, and the more games you played, the more random things would get. Because in another game, somebody might attack you or jump across the board, and you would now see that in your game.
We were doing more of the classic coded in Objective-C, like sit down and write your Latin to make this game work.
It was just one line of code that
it was a few lines of code. Oh, yeah. And then one of the very smart engineers tracked that down finally, and we all just slapped our head. And we were working on it night and day trying to figure this stupid thing out. And at the end, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the spectator code. That was my fault. Sorry, I did that.
On November 13th, 2009, Club Penguin re-prepared for the launch of Card-Jitsu Fire. Construction finished. A stone tablet would now rise from the ground upon entering the room, and clicking it would activate a secret door, the entrance to the Fire Dojo, which could be seen under construction for the next week. In the dojo courtyard was a call to action, asking goldsmiths to forge these strange golden amulets. You see, the newspaper had kept occasionally alluding to the volcano in the prior weeks. They even went as far as to claim that the volcano had caused the storm at the 2009 Halloween party. Now, things were heating up, and Sensei revealed that he had only tamed the volcano by using this special amulet, and that more were needed in order for ninjas to complete their training. It was now available to purchase in the Martial Artworks catalog, and in fact, you could not enter the Fire Dojo unless you had purchased the amulet. And finally, on November 24th, 2009, Card-Jitsu Fire finally launched. Almost 2 months after its originally intended release date.
Things always go wrong, man. When you ship a game, oh yes. Why do you think I have no hair? I use it all up clearing it out of games.
Card-Jitsu Fire. I'm not doing the numbers anymore.
We embrace the harsh and extreme. Our customers want more than just a product that works.
challenging, but we guarantee to deliver 100% customer satisfaction, no matter the application. This promise to our customers, which we proudly call our signature experience, inspires us to exceed customer expectations with every interaction. At Bishop Wisecarver, our legacy of success has always driven us forward. What comes next? How can we do it better? Where will opportunity take us? And where will we take those opportunities? Our foundation is set, and we've got our eyes fixed on the next 70 years. The next generation starts now.
Is committed to providing convenience and guidance to all of our customers. Whether you find us in your pocket or on your block, we provide the tools that can help you move forward financially. PNC Bank.
It started as a myth, born out of the shadows. A mysterious figure appeared to train those willing in the ancient art of Card-Jitsu. This journey requires patience, practice, power, and hot sauce. Lots of hot sauce. For those who defeat Sensei and become ninjas, things are heating up. A new challenge has presented itself. Are you ready to master the element of fire?
I love how 90% of the Card-Jitsu Fire trailer is just a trailer for Card-Jitsu. Card-Jitsu Fire launched alongside a week-long celebration of fire. Red banners lined the path to the new room and the new game. Of course, after the first week, these red banners would disappear, replaced instead by a sign which, when clicked on, would show the trailer for Card-Jitsu Fire. This would remain here for the next year. The Fire Dojo was located in a volcano, high above the dojo. Its theme music was far more ominous and treacherous than the original dojo. Members were able to play Card-Jitsu Fire. I remember my parents had given my older sister membership, but not me. So for a long time, I could only watch her play Card-Jitsu Fire, and I never got to experience it for myself. Anyone who said money doesn't buy happiness clearly did not play Club Penguin. Upon speaking to the sensei in the Fire Dojo for the first time, the player would be given a Fire Booster deck, which consisted of 9 additional regular cards and 1 of 2 power cards. All of these could be used in both regular Card-Jitsu and Card-Jitsu Fire. To accompany the game, 2 new series of cards were released across the first year of Card-Jitsu Fire, consisting of 122 new cards, 25 of which were power cards, and brought with them 25 new animations. Once again, these could only be acquired in-game by first seeking out the real-world decks and using the included codes.
Got an unopened package of Card-Jitsu cards. I don't think it'll work anymore, but...
Card-Jitsu Fire was a lot more complex than Card-Jitsu, and could be played by up to 4 penguins. Card-Jitsu Fire was more of a board game than a card game, though every spot on the board would prompt a game of Card-Jitsu. Card-Jitsu Fire Score was a fiery remix of the original Card-Jitsu game. An extended version of the theme was also used in the trailer for Card-Jitsu Fire.
Water and snow kind of almost sound more passive. Like as a storyteller, you're like, when you think of fire, you think hot, intense. I think that was one of the reasons we kind of found our way into fire as the first element to explore.
Let's get to the gameplay. There were 2 rings, an inner ring and an outer ring. Penguins stand on various spots of the outer ring. When it's their turn, they click on a blank tile of the inner ring. The inner ring would then randomly pick a number between 1 and number that the inner ring gave you was how many spaces you got to move your penguin around the outer ring.
So you know how the things spin around and then sort of flip over? That was originally an actual spinner, like you would see on a board game, because we had the board game tied. And very late in the process, it was like, oh no, we can't have that. We want it to be more mystical, more interesting, which was a good decision. I think that was actually, there was a lot of great decisions like that.
You would have then landed on one of 5 different types of tiles on the outer ring: fire, water, ice, choice, or card-jitsu. Landing on a fire tile would force a fire-specific card-jitsu battle. The number became the only thing that mattered, and you had to play the biggest number you had in your hand of that element. If you didn't have any cards of that specific element, you were out of luck. Landing on water would do the same, but water-specific. Landing on snow would do the same, but snow-specific. Landing on choice would let you choose which element you wanted to battle with. For example, if you didn't have any water cards in your hand, then you could have chosen fire or ice. Landing on a card-jitsu tile would let you play a traditional game of card-jitsu, only without the funny animations. In multiplayer games, you were given the option to choose your opponent. In addition, landing on the same spot as another penguin would have automatically forced a card-jitsu battle between them specifically, regardless of what the tile was. The color of the card was completely irrelevant to card-jitsu fire. Only the number and element mattered. You started every round with 6 energy points. Every time you lost a match of any of these kinds, you would lose a point. In the one-on-one card-jitsu battles, the winner would also receive their opponent's energy point. The goal was for your opponents to run out of energy before you did. If that sounds confusing, that's because it was. No one on the playground actually knew how to play card-jitsu fire. We all just clicked buttons until things happened. Researching this video was the first time I ever found out the inner ring functioned like a 6-sided die and determined how many spaces you moved. I had no clue what was happening, ever.
At the time, it was just, hey, what if we could take the game that we made, which is a card game, and make other games off of it?
And so we were like, okay, let's do some games, one on sort of each element.
It's like, okay, well, what about the idea of moving a character around, adding that on top of the cards? And so I think fire just emerged from that. It's like, well, I guess we could be on top of a volcano and like moving around the stones on top of like, lava.
Troy and I, he had some games. Well, I was trying to remember what it was. There was an old Star Wars game that Card-Jitsu Fire is loosely based on. It was inspired by. We didn't steal it. Just inspired by.
So it actually started as a board game. Card-Jitsu Fire was originally like a paper prototype that Good T / Troy, he made this like cardboard piece, and we'd go and we would play this prototype and we would walk around. It looked a little bit like Monopoly, actually.
We made them in real life first, and you play them in real life because you can tell whether the game is fun, and you can make changes really fast. If you go to code right away, you don't know what you're coding before you start coding. So first make the game in real life, make it fun, and then commit it to code. Gold coins, but when you were playing the fire game, this was your energy sort of thing. Oh yeah. So, and that's sort of how.
Bye.